Gentlemen, please like and share. I, of course, am General Greene here at islandproject.com. The Digital Noah's Ark, this is a massive video update. 40 banks, over 40 major financial institutions collapsed to zero overnight over the last few days in China, and America is next. I think a lot of you think it's a joke when I tell you that they're going to declare capital controls here in the United States and seize your money and your bank accounts in financial lockdowns. Again, they did physical lockdowns in 2020. Now it's financial lockdowns that are coming to the United States of America and the westernized world as a result of their pre-planned demolition of America. It's pre-planned engineered wealth transfer by the financial too big to fails and the bailout elites. And this is how they process everybody into the digital reset of their new CBDC declaration, which there will be capital controls, asset seizures, and I believe executive emergency action by the President of the United States, probably Joe Biden before he exits. Let's talk about that for a minute, and then we'll go over this report with 40 major banks causing pandemonium in China, people screaming in the streets, demanding their money back and being left penniless due to China's malfeasant, fraudulent, scam banking system, just like here in the United States of America. A Ponzi scheme, bailout, too big to fail, U.S. debt eroding scam. A bailout scam of debt that can never be paid back, a banking system that is financially leveraged into oblivion and is about to burst in the biggest financial apocalypse, I think, in the recent memory and history of the United States. Which trusts the plan. That's what they intend. How do you think they're going to reset the system? Create a panic, cause fear, lock your bank accounts. And you have to understand this too. They'll do that one way or another, even if it's just political. Like again, if you voted Trump and you vote Trump, they may close your bank account in 2025, in 2024, based on your politics. Again, this is an ideological civil war in the United States along dividing lines where the right and left no longer mix. There is no peaceful politicking anymore. It's just completely polarized, and we've seen this over and over and over again. I mean, look how the mainstream media endorsed the BLM riots. They were destroying entire American cities and towns. Scottsdale was on fire, quite literally. And what did the mainstream media tell you about it? They said it was justified. They supported it. They were like, well, yeah, Black Lives Matter. Like, let's burn everything to the ground. Could you imagine if conservative Republican Christians started burning cities to the ground? Of course not. Because if that happened, they would be labeled the letter T, terrorists. They would be labeled enemy combatants of the United States. So we're going to get into this massive story and watch this short film here just quickly. It's about 47 seconds. Pandemonium in China. This is all coming to the United States of America. This is why I've been telling you to get your money out of the banks. Get it into a real asset now. Protect yourself in an asset you control during hyperinflation, financial lockdowns, economic collapse, and political turmoil here in the United States. And here's the video if you haven't seen it. Coming to the United States, coming to your country, coming to the USA, coming to Chase Bank, JP Morgan Chase, Citigroup, in my opinion, coming to the United States. You hear the chants, give me our money, give us our money back. Again, the bank does not have your money. They've planned this long in advance. Again, if they would lock you in your house, fearmonger you over that, virulent thing spreading all over the world, causing mass panic, Trump standing in front of a warship. We remember this in 2020. He said, look over here, it'll be filled with body bags. Do you not think, and all that was lies, they never used the ship, there were no bodies ever stored there. At all. It was all optics. It was all an illusion. It was all lies. It was all fear-mongering for profit. So these companies, and you know who they are, could profit in the trillions and take control with a no legal liability substance, which now we're seeing the fallout. Lawsuits, we're seeing people drop dead, died suddenly. Of course, it's non-correlated. They don't know what it came from, but everybody's sick, turbo cancer's on the rise, etc. So again, I'm only bringing that up to prove the point that if they're willing to do that to you, you don't think they're going to freeze your money? Of course they are. Again, this is the plan. 40 banks in China go bust to zero. Here we have in MSN News. This is according to Microsoft. China's banking collapse, turmoil, 40 banks vanish as Xi Jinping aims to quell the public, aims to quell the pandemonium and the panic. You don't think this is going to come to the United States? Of course it is. The United States is directly tied to international financial markets like China. This is the black swan event that we've been warning about, ladies and gentlemen. The whole commercial property market in China, in their fake ghost cities, all of it's bankrupt, all of it's collapsing, just like the United States of America. It's on fumes, it's on a scam. I think you understand this. The Chinese banking sector is facing a serious crisis. In just 1 week, please like and share, 40 banks disappeared overnight. The collapse of Jingxi Bank of China has further deepened the sector's problems. Experts warn that the situation could have severe consequences for the global economy. Reports from China indicate the collapse of one of the banks. The portal Renminbao published a report from outside the headquarters of the Jingxi Bank, which concerned clients stormed over bankruptcy rumors. The bank had previously informed that its profits could drop by 30% due to customer loan repayment issues. Same thing's happening in the United States. Rates have been left high by the central bank. People can't afford their housing payments. They can't afford insurance by design. So BlackRock can steal your stuff and buy more of your property and buy more of the precious assets and buy more of the Bitcoin. This is all by design. This is a pre-planned demolition. This is why Donald Trump has onboarded crypto, Bitcoin, AI, blockchain, and also the developments in the Space Force and the Space Wars. Talks about it all the time. And the cyber. Because guess what's going to close the banks in America, guys? An unforeseen cyber event that they even predicted. They called it a cyber pandemic. They told you that they're already going to do it. They telegraphed it. They predictively programmed there's going to be a cyber event, and they're going to blame that cyber event on the closure of your bank. They're going to say, sorry, we no longer have your money. We're at war now. You're supporting Ukraine, a criminal, phony war that America is losing by design, that no smart American supports at all. Now, of course, yesterday, you all saw the horror show, the freak show of the United States. I mean, the destitute nature of this hellish Babylonic pit as it sinks. We all saw Joe Biden on full geriatric Parkinson's disease dementia display yesterday. A total you know what I was going to say. R-E-T-A, you know what? A total is what I'll say. We all saw him on display, making America a laughing stock, calling Vladimir Zelensky President Putin, making a critical error, proving his dementia, proving his geriatricness. I want you to think about this from the eyes of a Democrat. And I want your opinion on this. Like and share. Imagine being a Democrat having voted for Joe Biden because the establishment told you that he didn't have dementia, right? The establishment and the media said he was fine. He was mentally competent, that they said. They said it was a conspiracy theory that he had dementia. So imagine you're a Democrat, you took them at their word, you voted Biden because you hate Trump. Now it's been proven that the deep state lied to you. It's been proven that they covered up his actual health. It's been proven that Joe Biden is actually demented. This is elderly abuse. The United States Democratic Party has abused an elderly person. This is honestly not just dangerous for the United States, it is abuse. They've abused Joe Biden, an elderly individual. I want you to think about the horror of this. outside of the country, teetering on disaster and nuclear war and a laughingstock that the United States is. This is elder abuse, for crying out loud. You would never treat someone with Parkinson's like this. You would never abuse them like this. You would never lie to the American public like this. And so imagine being a Democrat. You now realize you've been lied to, and the whole establishment, the Obamas, everybody that supported him, George Clooney that's now calling for his ouster, et cetera. Nothing's changed recently, Clooney. Nothing's changed. Joe Biden was just as geriatric and had just as much late-stage disease, Parkinson's, 4 years ago as he does now. He called Vice President Kamala Trump as well. This is criminal. In my opinion, treasonous. I want you to understand that it is actually, in my view, treasonous to have somebody who's mentally incompetent when you need to invoke the 25th Amendment immediately because he's just not mentally there. God bless him. Like he's pooping his pants at this point. He can't talk. He doesn't even know who his family or his wife is. He doesn't even know who Zelensky is, the most famous figure in the world he's donating all your money to. You want to know why your kids are bankrupt? Because there's a geriatric giving all your money away to somebody he thinks is Vladimir Putin, for crying out loud. He doesn't even know it's Vladimir Zelensky. This is why you're bankrupt. This is why America sucks. This is why you're losing America. Because again, it's a two-party, fake, illusory system. And now Joe Biden will be removed within, I believe, less than 24 to 48 hours. I did a video last night. I was toasting to it. I thought I'd try to calm down a little bit, just kind of give you the hard-hitting and information. I mean, like and share this. They don't want this information out, guys. They want you controlled little slaves. They want you controlled little peons that they can lock down again. There's a new bird flu coming out too, so be very scared about that as well. They want financial lockdowns. They want your business closed. The only businesses that can stay open, ladies and gentlemen, is Jeff Bezos' Amazon and the rest of the oligarchs that own Washington, D.C. You're done. They want you in lockdown. They want your money on lockdown. Just like all my amazing investors, thousands and thousands worldwide, all across the world. At islandproject.com, tell me the horror stories of moving their money. Tell me the horror stories how their Canadian banks won't let them invest. They tell me that they've had their assets frozen in New Zealand, how they've lost pensions in Australia after being beaten by batons, losing all their rights as the truckers were hosed by Justin Trudeau for simply peacefully speaking their mind against lockdowns. I hear the horror stories. All of this is coming to the United States. It's coming to your stock accounts. It's coming to Merrill Lynch. It's coming to Charles Schwab. It's coming to Fidelity. It's coming to Wall Street. You thought 1929 was bad. You've seen nothing yet. Ladies and gentlemen, like and share. I hope you are getting prepped. 40 massive collapsing banks in China will set off a cascading black swan systemic shock event in the westernized world, of which all nations, including Europe, depend on. We saw this with the PIGS nations, Portugal, Italy, Ireland, Greece, Spain, etc. We saw this in 08 and 09, riots in Greece as a result of the sovereign debt collapse. For those of you that don't understand what that means, it means that because the debt's out of control, the government can't pay it back, which is the case in the United States. This is worse than Rome. This is soon to be worse than the Dark Ages here in the United States. A collapsed country, a failed nation state that they're turning into a commie-nation zone, that they're turning into communism here in the United States. China, the BRICS, kicking your ass. They kick the crap out of America every single day. Kim Jong-un laughs at the United States and geriatric Joe Biden. He at least had a little respect for Donald Trump. Donald Trump met him on his own turf, crossed the dividing line, attempted negotiations. That's diplomacy. That is a skill. We don't have any of that anymore. If you believe that the president is actually in control and runs things, you should be so shocked and fearful right now. You should be at red alert panic mode. It means that the president isn't capable of protecting you and your family. It means he couldn't even punch the nuclear codes and the nuclear football. It means he cannot protect America from a nuclear attack at this point. If you believe the two-party system, if you think the president actually runs the show, which he doesn't. Of course not. The presidents aren't in charge. Biden isn't in charge. Trump is trying to take control. He's trying to drain the swamp and put himself in charge, but even he's not in charge. We've seen it with the lawfare attacks, the arrest of his confidants like Stephen Bannon, the treatment of the January 6th protesters. We see it daily. We see it with his multiple felony convictions, which are all pending. Even Donald Trump, a billionaire, fighting allegedly for your rights, pushing back, a baller, a New Jersey street fighter. And I respect that about him. We see the pain and suffering that he's gone through. I'm surprised he's even alive. I'm stressing how bad it is. This is a systemic event. The Economist magazine is warning about it. It's owned by Bill Gates, so he should know. Again, they're getting rid of the food supply. They're going to kill off all the chickens, all the fish, all the meat, all the poultry, say it was the bird flu's fault, take away the food supply, create a food crisis. Famine is coming. Folks, have you read the Bible? Have you read the four horsemen of the apocalypse? One of them is famine here in the United States of America. Have you ever read about the collapse of Babylon, the hellfire that God the Father sent down? Lot's wife fleeing the city said, "Don't look back." He looked back. She turned to a pillar of salt. All of you will be salt in the future unless you wake up. We must turn our back to tyranny and we must fight peacefully for liberty. We must organize. We must get our money out of the banks and do it today with like minds, under the authority of Christ the King as your general, the commandment of the digital Noah's Ark, making all of you successful, thriving in a highly, highly dangerous environment. Again, inflation at levels we have never seen. This is a topic too. I'm going to break it all down for you, folks. I'm a crypto expert. I've made millions and millions of dollars in crypto. Most of you know that. I've been right about all of it, invested super early, under 1,000 Bitcoin, biggest schools in the world, bitcoinrich.com, islandprojectclub.com, $33.5 million deployed and no bank debt real estate. You guys know the whole story, but I'm going to tell you something you don't know. It's why you need to share. There's a liquidity crisis at America's financial institutions. And you know why? Because people are moving their money out of the banks, like I'm recommending you do. And they're putting it into other assets like real estate, and they're putting it into cryptocurrencies. And that's the point that I'm making. Do you know how many billions, if not trillions, have been siphoned out of U.S. Bank? JP Morgan Chase, Wells Corrupt Fargo, which just settled multi-billion-dollar lawsuits. Jamie Dimon's firm that funded the Jeffrey Epstein child horrific trafficking rings. There's been trillions that have poured out of bank accounts and traditional financial institutions. They're now being privately walleted in things like Bitcoin. You don't think that's a problem? There are secretive meetings taking place right now among the deep state insiders in the halls of Washington, D.C., because they're under a liquidity crunch. They do testing on this all the time. It's called bank stress tests. We all remember TARP. All the major financial institutions collapsed to zero. Hosed you, then got tremendous bailouts from the same people it hosed, from the taxpayers, ripped all of you off, stole all of your money, ruined your life, created hyperinflation, sent your kids to these criminal wars, funded Ukraine, funded Zelensky, opened up World War III, and he doesn't even have the gall to understand and know that Zelensky is not Putin. And you want to know why you're not free. You want to know why you're broke and your life sucks. There's your answer. Again, I don't believe in victim mentality. I don't believe in any of that. I believe people, you are the solution. I know all of you have collective power. You march with your feet. You vote with your wallets. You don't like scum leftist corporations telling you to kneel on your knees to disrespect the American flag. You never spend another dollar with them again. That is how you vote. It's better than a stupid ticket to Republican or Democrat, as my late grandfather would say. You vote with your rights, with your power, with your freedom. You organize. You raise the alarm bell in Paul Revere fashion. An absolute train wreck disaster. Biden collapsing in the polls. Trump doesn't even have to do anything at this point, guys. Trump doesn't even need to run any advertising. Like, the best thing Trump can do right now is just shut up and let Joe Biden self-implode, before the Obamas hijack the Democratic Party and install Big D, Big Mike, into the program and hose America again. You know, there's never been any follow-up to any of this, right? I've been out with Sheriff Joe Arpaio many times before in Arizona. Know the man. I've interviewed the man, chatted with the man. Entire discourse in major events, I've covered them in Sun City, Arizona, scrutinizing the Obama birth certificate. Notice there hasn't been any follow-up on it. And I asked Joe, I'm like, bro, like, is Obama, was he born here? Is it fake? And he's like, yeah, 100% concrete evidence. But again, all these events, no one even asks any questions anymore. No one's even asking why any of these things are happening. This is a disaster. Biden will be abruptly removed from the White House, I believe, in less than 24, 48 hours. This is the worst thing that could possibly happen. All the Democrats have turned on him, proving that they have no integrity either. Again, all of the donors, all the people that funded Joe Biden, Hollywood that supported him, proves they have no backbone. These people are sharks. They'll take a knife, stab you right in the back, and twist it as soon as it's convenient for them. And they'll do the same and are doing the same to the country. The United States back is turned, and they're driving it in and turning it. So it's a painful turn while they do it. Total asset collapse. Huge nuclear risk, in my opinion. Again, the president, according to Bloomberg, has the sole right and ability to launch nuclear weapons and to protect the United States at all costs. That means Joe Biden, who's been abused by the Democratic Party. I want you to think about this. This is criminal. Elderly abuse is criminal in the United States. You do understand that. It's not just treasonous, in my opinion, to the country, having a president who's elderly, geriatric. It is criminal. It is a criminal offense in the United States to abuse the elderly. Abuse somebody. You can't even transfer a will with somebody who has dementia, who's lost their mind. There's laws against it. They would charge you. Like you can't, last minute go up to like someone like Joe Biden and have him change his will when he's under the undue effects and influence of a brain rotting disease, yet alone run the country. So I want you to think about how scary this is. The nuclear football was dangerously close, it says. On the January 666 event, all a fraud, all pre-engineered. They left the doors wide open by design, completely intentional. It's what they wanted. I lived in Washington, D.C., and I can tell you that firsthand. You can't just walk into these buildings, man. This was 20 years ago, 30 years ago when I was in Washington. I used to ride my bike around the Capitol. There would be security guards armed telling me to get off the property if I came within a certain inch of thousands of feet of the properties and buildings. Like, this is a total laughingstock, non-believable joke that people pushed through the Capitol. Of course they didn't. Nancy Pelosi opened the doors, said, come in. This is the narrative that we want. Again, the military's growing increasingly nervous. They know that a commander-in-chief is not capable of leading them. Top-level figures in authority positions in the United States fear for the United States military at this point. It is treasonous not to remove Joe Biden peacefully, in my humble view, using, of course, the invocation of the 25th Amendment, constitutional principles, and the law. It is treasonous. Here's what's crazy. I think that Democrats really want to try to keep him in this masquerade going for as long as they can. They don't want to admit to themselves that, this guy's a laughingstock embarrassment, an embarrassment to the United States of America. All of us should be tremendously embarrassed by this country, embarrassed by the flag, embarrassed by the president. How could you look me in the eye, even if you're a Democrat, and not be flagrantly embarrassed right now? Your president is you know what? You have screwed up all of the United States of America. Your kids will never be free again. And it is elderly abuse on so many levels. Pray that Joe Biden can go to a retirement home, get the care that he needs. Probably he's already on medications. Pray that he can get the hospice attention that will be needed, especially pooping his pants all the time and all the other host of problems that are going to come as a part of this aggressive late-stage Parkinson's. Parkinson's doctor visited 10 times to the White House, by the way. Have you seen the video? If you haven't seen the video, you need to see the video. Like, I almost threw up in my mouth. Like, I pretty much did, and then I swallowed it again and barfed again. That's how bad it is. Like again, this is the playbook to overthrow a country, folks. When you're fighting a propaganda war, when enemy nations overthrow a country like the United States, which is currently happening, you disillusion the target populations. It's called the disillusionment phase of the propaganda techniques. The Russians are great at this. They're great at psych warfare, for example. And they're great at running these operations. So is China. The first thing you do is you disillusion the target populations. You create panic and fear. You spray leaflets from the sky through the media. That's what they did in 2020. All spigots of society, radio, television, mainstream media, pundits, celebrities. They shut down all public activities, sporting arenas, MLB, NBA, NHL. Every corporation was in on it. That was their leaflets that they were spraying to the country that they were overthrowing. We did this in Iraq and Afghanistan. You come on a megaphone and you say, you're being taken over by the United States. We're stealing all of your oil. We're here. And then you propagandize and drop from the sky. They did the same thing in Japan. The United States government, before attacking Hiroshima and Nagasaki, dropped leaflets over, says you're done. Expect an atomic weapon imminently. So this is what's been done to you, but it's been done in a digital format in the digital age. Everything's controlled. All social media is controlled. It's up to you to share the critical information. It's up to you to take action. Everything about the economy is controlled, but this isn't. See, this is what you're in charge of. This is your life raft. This is your insurance policy. TheIslandProject.com is a safe haven. It is a digital Noah's Ark for a reason. It is the safest place for your money. It's how you can grow your capital, earn income distributions on an annual basis. Large capital appreciation. It's also being tokenized on a proprietary blockchain, 1000X, at islandproject.com in our Founders Round, only exclusively for our Founders members. All of you tuning in, onboarding now. By the way, my father sent me a text message earlier. I want to congratulate Linda H. You know who you are, from Chicago, just onboarded with 30K. I know it took a lot of work to get in, Linda. God bless you. It is an honor. You're the proud owner of luxury real estate now in Maui and Oahu and Park City, soon to be internationalized. You get all that income, all those capital gains, 1000X tokens on the token launch. Let's go back to that topic for a minute, too. I want you to honestly think and guess for a minute how much money's poured out of the traditional financial system into crypto recently. The banks are under severe stress. This is why they don't want you to move your money into crypto. It's why many of you had trouble or have trouble moving your money out of a traditional bank, because they don't want you to take your money outside of their fake scam system. The second you do that, you create a liquidity crisis and a bank run here in the United States. It's already happening. It's already occurring. We're in a full-blown bank run in the United States. This is why Ray Dalio says capital controls are coming. This is why you need to own physical assets. The best assets are the ones that produce cash flow. The best assets are the ones that actually have appraised value with no bank debt. The best real estate is on the water, in the best locations in the world, in the best areas of the world with the most demand, with good rental income potential, at high cap rates. Look at Park City, Deer Valley, for example. Billionaires Row is being developed. That's where we bought. It's a sure thing. It's a win-win. The rich and the wealthy and the elites always get rich and wealthy and elite and become more rich and wealthy and elite. They don't play by your same set of rules. You need to fight them at their same level along with us. They don't want you to own billion-dollar real estate. They don't want you owning beachfront next to Jeff Bezos. They don't want you to own property next to Bill Gates. Bill Gates flew over to Lanai for his wedding to his now divorced wife. They don't want you to have access to the key assets that they're overthrowing and taking over by force. This is why Bill Gates bought all the farmland in the United States of America. It's why Jeff Bezos owns Whole Foods, to control money, power, business enterprise, and food distribution. But the most important thing they aim to control is you, human cattle. That's why they've stamped most of Americans right in the rear end like a big fat cow in 2020 and seared them. No legal liability as well, because the elites get away scot-free. Are you fighting back? Are you getting rich? Have you onboarded a Christian faith-driven project like islandproject.com? Are you a baller? Do you have the diamond nuts? Do you want to become an owner of the best real estate in the world, or do you want to allow all the elites destroy your children's future? Maybe you're a grandma, you're a grandpa out there, you're a baby boomer. Your inaction assures the collapse of the United States, ensures your children that you love and your grandchildren have no future. You're to blame unless you act. Many of you are ballers. You're amazing. I commend you. I honor you. I serve all of you as general commander of the Island Project. But those that aren't helping to fuel the flame and fire of liberty, and you can share for free. That doesn't cost a penny. You can like this video. You can leave a comment. You can 1000x the algorithms below. You can tell your friends. You can warn. You can even pray for us. You can do all of that for free, as I know all of you have. But we are all a part of the solution. If you're not doing anything, you are the problem. You are just as bad as the evil cabal. You're just as bad as Jeffrey Epstein if you're still doing business with JP Morgan Chase. You're helping to traffic young kids. If you have a loan or a mortgage or a checking account at Chase Bank that funded Jeffrey Epstein and Mossad, you're incentivizing it through your actions. That's detestable. That's disgusting. And I stand for none of that. I stand for freedom, justice, hope, liberty, success, and all the amazing things that makes us lightning rods for the human condition and in service to the glory of Jesus, our friends, our family, beacons of hope and inspiration and examples of leadership. Much of what we've done, all glory to God, the miracles that He's blessed me, myself personally with, our family, friends, our churches, the community, all of our amazing members. $33.5 million is a blessing of God. It's His roadmap. The whole point of everything I've done in years past with AMTV, Greene Wave in the early days, tens of thousands of videos, all of the work that we have accomplished has been meant to prove the glory of God and prove the impossible, to show you that it could be done, that everything's fake and it doesn't matter, and it's easy to drive a Lambo, and it's easy to get rich, and it's easy to mint your own currencies, and it's easy to raise money, and it's easy to be a baller. It's all easy because, again, it's all under God. We all receive what we intend in life. We all receive what it is our mindset is directing us towards. And our faith, more importantly, and our actions are leading us. Every single person I know is exactly who they think they are. They have exactly what they've designed and intended for themselves. It can be good or bad. Successful people think successfully. They are successful. They lead successfully. They expect success. Failures focus on problems and not solutions. They think they're a victim. They only see problems. They don't see solutions. So again, be the solution, ladies and gentlemen. We are the world-class solution. This is an emergency alert. Over 40 banks have just collapsed in China. This is coming to the United States next. Read the FDIC failed bank list. Expect that list to grow. Read Ray Dalio's books. Read his reports calling for bank collapse and capital controls in the United States. And then while you do that, fill out a 5-minute application at islandproject.com and fund immediately today with ACH, wire transfer, credit, and or debit card. We also accept crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, a host of cryptocurrencies. It's easy to fund that way. And in fact, I've had a lot of advice from many of our members that said it was far easier for them to buy crypto, especially if they're in authoritarian states like Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. It was easier to buy crypto and then deploy crypto into real estate than it was for them to say wire transfer from the bank direct cash. For whatever reason, this is what they tell me. Again, I've warned about all this. My dad has warned about all this. I mean, we've heard the horror stories. I've had people crying in front of me. I've had to give people hugs because they had their pensions stolen during the lockdowns overseas. This is coming to the United States. Whether or not it's overt stealing, it'll be through the crisis of hyperinflation and the economic financial reset. Bet on yourself. Bet on liberty. Bet on your own success. Quick look at financial markets is, of course, they do position, and I mean, they're gonna leave the hot potato on Trump, guys. This is gonna be freaking ridiculous. They're gonna leave this hot potato on Trump, blame him for the implosion of 1929. They're gonna blow up all of Wall Street. Mark my words, they're gonna destroy the economy. They've already done it, but they're just propping it up, holding it on thin air of a Ponzi scheme, tulip mania bubble. This thing is gonna bust. The significant seven, which concentrate the entire Dow Jones rigged financial average, is gonna implode. It's gonna be led by all these high-flying scam stocks. It's gonna implode right into Donald Trump's lap. During World War III, during economic collapse, during inflation, during Bitcoin's new earth record-shattering new all-time highs, which are coming soon, during a complete cryptocurrency digital reset transfer, during cyber events and attacks. I can't even imagine, honestly, what's going to happen. Bank accounts will no longer exist. You'll try to log in, you won't even be able to get in. It'll say service interruption. We don't have any of your money. It's why you needed to be in a real asset. Again, if your ATM don't work, real estate still does. If the bank closes your account, they can't close your real estate. You own it, especially when it doesn't have any bank debt. When you can't log in to your Bank of America account to access your Roth or your 401k, you can still access the real estate. Again, it's not digitally linked. It's going to be tokenized, but it's backed by a physical asset base of prudency in a foundational rock built on the principle of, honestly, it's a godly principle. No bank debt. Everybody's warning about this, from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Major influencers like Grant Cardone says it's already started. Expect collapse. Major restructuring of U.S. debt. Commercial debt loans. All of it will be restructured. You know, they probably don't tell you this, but like even guys like Cardone, man, he's highly, highly leveraged. All those commercial buildings that his company owns are like on 90+% debt ratios. Maybe a few speckled or sprinkled in there with cash, but 90% debt. Rates rise, the servicing of the debt increases. Rates stay high for too long, they can't meet the servicing demand. So only one or two things happen: bankruptcy, bank runs and collapse, or all of the debt has to be restructured, which means stolen from you, the American public, just like 08 and 09. That's what they did with the foreclosure housing crisis. They restructured the debt, stole all of your real wealth, mostly from baby boomers, transferred it all to themselves, instituted TARP and bailouts to infinity, and gave it back to the super elites once again. And it's happening now. 40 minutes in, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready? Are you ready? Read these reports for yourself. This is Microsoft news breaking across the headlines and wires. 40 banks vanish overnight. Are you prepared for your bank to vanish? Are you prepared for political attacks? Again, don't think you're safe voting for Donald Trump. You'll be put on a list here in the United States of America. Are you a Christian? You are on a list in this country. We must stick together. You're a Republican and believe in freedom and just male and female and not anything else. You've been put on a list here in the police state of the United States. Your face is being scanned at every airport. Opt out. That's not legal. You don't have to do that. If you're running through TSA, you have an option to refuse the face recognition scanning software. That's a violation of your face, a violation of your property rights. That is a violation of the human body, yet alone the x-rays, which you can also opt out of, at least now. In the future, there will be no opting out. Mandated x-ray scans, mandated facial recognition, mandated bank accounts tied to your biology, tied to the mark, tied to the Neuralink chip, tied to the beast system. We must stick together. Christians are powerful. There's over 4 billion of us worldwide. Fight back with the Christian billionaire. Fight back peacefully with my father, Papa John, Diamond Nuts Sr. On board now. Get into islandproject.com. On board the freaking 1000X now. Like your life depends on it. Peacefully. Realize you're the solution. Realize you're powerful. $33.5 million is Founders Round 1. A wildfire of deployment is next. Multiple flagships will launch at once, worldwide, providing and building a true alternative blockchain, physically asset-backed ecosystem in our own currency markets to private wallet host of which you own that is safe, where you create 100% and have 100% equity ownership. And you have rights. Read our terms, read our docs, our operating agreements. Talk to my father. Let him explain and tell you about the amazing property portfolio. And then have some fun too. While Rome burns, while America collapses, make your life great. That's something I can appreciate with, Donald Trump's imaging. Be great. Be awesome. Be a billionaire. That's what Donald Trump stands for. Millions of Americans voting for Donald Trump love Trump. Well, Donald Trump is a proud billionaire. He is a proud baller. He is a proud street fighter. Appreciate that. Become that. Become the baller. Again, life is short. I want all of you a part of this amazing journey with islandproject.com as this source. The parties that we're going to throw. The fun, the excitement, the freedom that we've created, the ecosystem that they don't want. They don't want freedom. It's why Bitcoin was created. In the code, Satoshi Nakamoto wrote, F the big banks. It was written as a part of the financial reset and the financial 08-09 bailouts. It's in the literal algorithmic code. It's put there for a reason. Again, life is limitless. We've had amazing freedom fighters that have left us, who we've lost. I mean, think about all the craziness that's happened in recent years. The late John McAfee, who I think is still alive. Other figures like him, true freedom fighters, true ballers, true libertarians. Not a perfect guy, but man, he was a shining beacon of light. He was amazing. People like that create art and excitement and electricity and hope and all these things. Man, you've seen that go completely away in the United States. Most people are depressed and disillusioned, focused on a fake two-party system because they have you right where they want you and they're squeezing your balls. None of it's real. None of it's true. They're creating a disillusionment campaign to control all of you while they wipe out the greatest country in the world. And I'm not standing for it. They will not steal my nation. They will not steal the ideals of freedom and liberty. Freedom and liberty is a mindset. It is an idea more than it is a country. This is new America, ladies and gentlemen. You are the resistance. You are the American freedom fighters. You are what everything that liberty and freedom and the pursuit to it stands for. You are those fireworks On July 4th, you are the tsunami of greatness and courage. I encourage all of you to be courageous. You know, even people that maybe think I'm eccentric or over the top, one thing you'll have to say, I am courageous. I do have amazing courage, and the reason is it all comes from God. It comes from the steadfast faith that I ain't leading and He is. Yesterday, I was sitting in an architectural meeting. We're building a 10,000 square foot spec estate here in Maui. It's by itself going to be worth over 30 million. All my members own it. And I'm sitting in the meeting room. The architect and his wife, their partners are looking at me, and I know they're looking at me like, who is this guy? He looks really young, and I'm, you know, deploying all this capital, and we're building this amazing property. You should check this out, man. Like this massive infinity pool, 2 spas, multiple master bedrooms, huge balconies reaching out into the mountainside, also the ocean, panoramic in the best views in the best location in the world, compound, complete compound. And I can see and sense it. You know, they're like thinking in their mind, like, who is this guy and what does he do? And I'm just hanging out there with my legs crossed, cool as a cucumber. And I'm telling them what to do and how to design it. I'm like, no, more garage space. Need at least 6 or 7 more garages. I'm putting a Lambo in this one, couple more Jeeps in that one. Need a place to store some toys. Like, no, I need views over here. The pool needs to get bigger. You know, make it a showpiece. And I'm, you know, it's so interesting to me because money is endless. Money comes from everywhere. It's so easy. It's like almost no one knows the secret, but very few of us. My members know it. My members are ballers. They're extremely successful. We have people in the real estate industries. We have people in traditional financial markets. We have, you know, homemakers. We have, you know, blue-collar workers, firefighters, police officers, Hawaiians in our project. We have people from all over the world. All over the world. Our biggest state is Texas, the biggest freedom state in the United States, arguably the, you know, country itself. Is our biggest state. Ballers, people that own thousands of acres of farmland. Our model is proven. It is the future of money and finance. It is the future of blockchain real estate tokenization. You will never get an opportunity like this again to onboard. You have a limited time. We are over 95% funded now. We've been very careful on who we're onboarding, who we're allowing in. Now that we're at the end of the funding stages, my dad and I scrutinize who can onboard. We want to make sure we've got the right people in the project because our strength comes from our people. Our strength comes from the community itself. It's why we designed it. It's why it's not just a, you know, my dad and I and another investor. We could have certainly deployed $30 million ourselves. But that's not any fun, and there's no strength to that. There's no community infrastructure. There's no freedom being alone. A lot of you feel alone out there, like you're not connected, like there's no hope, like there's no solution, but there is. I'm telling you what the solution is from the bottom of my heart. I've already implemented it. I've spent tens of millions of dollars myself funding island project operations and deploying capital and building and pouring my heart and soul and life into the number one solution in the world. It's because I believe in it. And God instructed me to build it. And I'm warning all of you of what's to come. Just like Noah, just like Lot, just like David slayed Goliath with a pebble. You all got a slingshot, use it, is what I'm telling you. Don't just let Rome burn and sit on the sidelines. Get activated, march. People ask me all the time, why aren't you in politics, Christopher? You'd be great. Politics is fake. We have more power in the private market with real change, creating energy and capital and solutions than we do running for office. You think anything is going to get done? Let's say I was a senator or a congressman or even ran for the presidency. What are you going to do? Bicker with the other party? Not get anything done? Marjorie Taylor Greene, with an E at the end. Baller. What is she getting done? Nothing, dude. I mean, she's speaking her mind, creating some good content, fighting these Democrats all day long. Nothing's happening. The money still goes to Ukraine every single day. Why waste your time? Get into the private markets. The private markets and private companies own Washington, D.C. Become an owner and own them. That's the point. Own the politicians along with us. Become so powerful you dictate policy in the United States like Jeff Bezos. Peter Thiel, for example, multi-billionaire, backed Trump in the previous election. Now he's like agnostic because I guess Trump didn't do what he wanted him to do. Thiel has more power than a congressman or a congresswoman. He's actually influencing policy. He's actually more in control. Him and Elon Musk, they work together, all part of the PayPal mafia. Elon Musk is just the face showman of it. He's the face of the companies. He's the, the marketing genius, honestly. That's who he is. I mean, think about it even logistically. You think it's even feasible one dude could run 7 companies like Elon Musk supposedly does, in addition to sending people to Mars and deep space by himself? Like every day he's just running 7, multi-billion-dollar companies? Of course not. There's an entire apparatus completely integrated into the annals of deep state control. Thiel and others embedded into DARPA and the Pentagon and all that. They all work together behind the scenes. Musk flies his Learjet all the time to visit Larry Ellison. He flies right through Kahului, meets Bezos, flies to Ellison's Island here, along with Gates and everybody else. There's a place there called The Farm, launches drones. Huge UFO a couple years ago, football field size. They call it The Farm. This is where they experiment on everything, hydroponics, the things that we're not even allowed to talk about. It's all experimented on that island over there in Lanai, owned by Larry Ellison, the founder of Oracle. They're now buying up all of Hollywood. His son, he just backed his son. They're like buying Paramount, is what I read last. Again, all of this is deeply entrenched. The politics are fake. Those are the guys that run the show, guys. These are the people, Bezos and others. They own America, and you must understand this. Elon Musk owns America. He's more powerful than a president or a politician. He can do much more damage running his companies, which is why I've been a believer and always been a believer. I'd much rather and prefer being in the private market. It's a heck of a lot more exciting. Maybe later, and probably why Trump is in politics is because he's accomplished probably everything he wanted to accomplish in business. So maybe you change. Maybe later on, you reach the pinnacle and you've changed, and it's almost like he's doing charity work for the country. I mean, really, Donald Trump is just being charitable to the United States. He knows it's a, almost a losing proposition. He gets it. I mean, think about how much money and power he sacrificed running for president. How much harm it's caused him and his family and their net worth, for example. So it's really like he's almost just doing charity for the United States. And he said it so himself. America's so screwed, sucks balls so bad. The United States is so demonic, such a loser, that he's got to roll in to make it great again. And God bless him. I hope he does. I support the mission statement to make America great. But the question is, how do you make America great? It's not with just a vote, folks. It's by making yourself great. All of you tuning in, I want you to imagine that all the things that you see in your mind, that you want, that can be used as tools for success, I want you to think and imagine that you already have all those tools, because you do. And all those resources that you think you need are already there, no matter what it is. I see people fail to start businesses all the time because they're like, well, I don't have any capital. You don't need any capital to start a business. You just need an idea. It's a skill. It's a mindset. Open a book, for crying out loud. Learn. Find a mentor. Learn about crypto. I mean, it's that easy. So the beacon of truth and freedom and light and real Americana does not come from a simple vote and bickering on the two-party aisle system of worthlessness. It comes through making yourself great and empowering yourself on your own roadmap that they call your life. which is extremely short, you're running out of time. I hate to break it to you. You're all running out of time, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of the day, we all sit with the King and we all ride in the glory with him. And we all will live, all of us believers, eternally with Jesus. Like, what are you waiting for? You're scared? Don't be scared. There's nothing to be fearful about. When they told you to lock yourself in your house in 2020, laugh at their face. And if you need to, use your Second Amendment if they come. Laugh. Have fun. Life is short. This is America. This is our country. We are in charge. The people own the United States. The politicians are our bitch. Never forget it. These people work for us. These companies are your bitch. If everybody stopped buying Nike shoes, Nike would be bankrupt overnight. These companies will start to turn a little bit more friendly to Christian conservatives. If they were wiped out, if enough people voted with their wallets and said, screw you, we're only going to buy Under Armour. Again, you have all the power. And this is why they spend billions, if not trillions, manipulating your mind through advertising, commercials, massive lies, mistruths, movie, Hollywood propaganda. Hollywood's been putting out propaganda forever. Hollywood is a propaganda machine for the state and war and psychological manipulation. That's all it is. There's very few true artists and directors that just, do like an art film. Something that's actually real. It's all laced with propaganda and ideology and lies. Look at kids' cartoons. You know what's a common feature of kids' cartoons? Robots. Because they're indoctrinating your kids. This is even what child predators do, right? They get really close and build a relationship and feed their minds with ideas and then take them over to Jeffrey Epstein's island funded by JP Morgan Chase and Jamie Dimon. A scumbag. Again, look yourself in the mirror. Take action. You want truth, light, liberty, justice? You want hope? I hear people complain all the time. Are you taking enough action? Chances are you're not. Take more action. Pile drive in more. Be bolder. Seize the opportunity while it still lasts. Now, crypto, I'm expecting, I'll just say briefly, I do think there could be a quick shakeout. Quick, violent, buy the dip. Bitcoin, if you just look at the chart, instinctually, I think we get more of a consolidation. Look at this. Look at this chart. I'm following all this stuff daily, almost by the second. Before we break new all-time highs, I probably would think we get another panic. That'll be the last flush. Then they're going to take it all to new all-time highs. BlackRock has been buying all of it. They pretty much own the entire market now anyways. They own all the Bitcoin. They told you it was a scam. Now they own all of it, and they're selling you ETFs and other scams and other bull crap. So are financial advisors now. So they're going to do one last pin drop, in my opinion, pop it. Then they're going to send it to new all-time highs. All of this will happen within weeks and months, in my view. It's not going to be long drawn out. They just need to create enough fear amongst the malleable little sheep that they keep prodding in the butt all the time and branding like cattle. They just need to create a little bit more fear and hysteria, craziness over the election, Joe Biden's collapse. Who knows? Maybe, God forbid, he'll have a heart attack or stroke in the White House. Something's going to happen. They're going to pull the plug. Something could happen to Trump. Total chaos, digital reset, total disillusionment, collapse of the United States, World War III, collapse of the banks, capital controls. You know the program. This is how these people operate. They operate through psychological manipulation and fear. These people are very, very evil, folks. Very, very evil. And I don't think I have to tell you that. We need more leaders. We need more church leaders. We need more churches to be built. We need you to be charitable. We need you out there, folks. Be the baller along with us. I do it every single day. I put my money where my mouth is. I deploy everything into the vision, into the cause, into the intention to be great and to lead by example. And we've accomplished so many great things through the glory of God. And I'm so humbled by that and all that has been built. Again, want to welcome on our latest onboard, Cindy, and also Linda, who came in with 30K earlier this morning. God bless you. We have great men, women, patriots, Christians, believers. Not everybody's a Christian. It's not a requirement. We have people from all walks of life, all around the world, from all over the world seeking the same thing. Because can we not all agree that we all love freedom? If that's the case, on board now and stop hesitating and get in. 30 units minimum. Upgrade your units. Get to the tiers for more access to properties, more dividends, more capital gains, and more tokens as a part of the tokenization soon to be launched as I release that roadmap to the public. I'm extremely excited. I want you to think about how much that's going to be worth. How much is a $33.5 million cash flow producing, no bank debt portfolio of beachfront, Maui Booyah, Oahu Booyah, Waikiki penthouse towers, and Park City Booyah ski lodges worth tokenized? What do you think that number is going to be? The market will dictate it. Hundreds of millions, billions of dollars. Of course. It is a real physical asset that we've already acquired, folks. So, you thought meme coins were cool. You thought, crypto in general is a really awesome idea. You've been impressed that Bitcoin sits at a near $1 trillion market cap. Well, you've seen nothing yet, folks. Look at this. Think about how wrong people have been. If I had a Bitcoin for every time people told me Bitcoin was going to zero and a scam, I'd be billions and billions of dollars more rich than I already am. It's just so funny to me and hilarious how wrong most of America is, how they suck at discernment so bad, that they're so terrible, that they believe and they're so gullible, all the lies of the deep state, that I've literally had millions of people tell me Bitcoin is a scam while it sits at $1.13 trillion. And even my eyes pop out at my own physical net worth on a daily basis. I'm like, my gosh, I can't believe this. Hallelujah. How many people were wrong? How many people have told you Bitcoin is a scam, that Ethereum was a scam, that XRP was a scam? How many people have told you the governments are going to ban them? How many people told you corporations won't allow it? And now they eat to their own words, and they're still broke and they're still poor, while we all get richer every single day. Again, we're doing it now with islandproject.com, and you're going to freaking miss it. It's not about the money, it's about freedom. I've never set a goal on money in my life. All my family members can tell you this. This is the absolute truth. I set my goals on a vision and passion, and I let God lead it. That's how you actually make money. That's how you achieve the impossible. If you took 100 people and they attempted to raise $33.5 million, I guarantee 99 of them would fail. So the question you should ask is, why have we succeeded along with you? Because we're best in the world. We're the All-Americans. We are the trophy asset. We are the Lamborghini. We are the Ferrari. We are the All-American Division I champions. We are the World Series winners here at the Island Project. My entire family is a winner. My dad's wife just won Mrs. Universe Tokyo, for crying out loud. My dad is a winner. He's a baller. My brother was a winner. My mother is a winner. We are all winners. How is it we've been able to achieve the impossible along with you when 9 out of 10 times, 99 out of 10 times, 999 out of 10 times, everyone else fails? But for some reason, somehow the guy sitting in this seat, having done it for multiple decades, 1000Xs every single time. From a basement to doing social media, to doing e-commerce, to bullhorning in the streets, to being on Fox News, to interviewing Steve Forbes, to hanging around on billionaires, to headlining at crypto events, to traveling the entire world, to launching Island Project, to raising $33.5 million, to owning, along with all my members, Maui Boo, Oahu Boo, Waikiki Booyah, Park City Booyah. How was it possible? Because it is the freaking 1,000 freaking X! It's the 1,000 freaking X! Ladies and gentlemen, it's the 1,000 freaking X! The 1,000 freaking X! Have you onboarded yet? Get in now! I love you all. And that is the answer. Because Jesus is King. God is the Savior! and we always win. So don't get down on yourself. This evil cabal that hates your guts, that doesn't want you around, that has created hopelessness in America, made it a laughing stock. These evil people trafficking children to Epstein's Island that funded it and endorsed it, they all lose. They will all kneel to our king, ladies and gentlemen. It's my message as General Greene. And hope you're having fun. This is a good video. Definitely got 1000X daily, folks. And I encourage you too, if you haven't, do the 1000X pose once a day and yell it to the freaking heavens. You'll feel better. You'll feel great. Throw chairs in the pool. Bash TV sets in. I used to do that all the time in Greenway. People thought I was crazy. Just bashing the crap out of TVs, man. I love it. Again, the things you want in your life, just do it. Don't hesitate. Don't wait. You want to get rich? OnboardIslandProject.com. You want to be safe? Get your money out of the banks and call my father at 808-442-2934. You want to stay at a multi-million-dollar Maui Booyah, Waikiki Booyah, Park City Booyah property? Invest. Get in. Use the asset. Make your capital gains. Earn your income. Become a part of the ecosystem, the lifestyle, the blockchain. Participate in what Bitcoin is doing. In the cryptocurrency revolution, do it along with us. We've professionally managed everything. My team does it all. Taxes, insurance, all paid. You get docs at the end of the year. You get income distributions annually as we build out the vacation zone property rentals and everything that our members own. It's that freaking easy. So stop waiting. Don't wait. We're going to go to the freaking moon. We already are. Bitcoin will be at new all-time highs later this summer, folks. We'll be tokenizing, buying more property. We're already under contract 6 and 7, 10,000 square foot freaking spec home under development now. How is it possible? Because most people don't act. They ain't even asking. They're not even trying. Which is how the 1 in a million shot and the 1 in a million 1000X, it's you. It's you. You tuning in. So I love you. God bless you. I'm looking forward. I have a lot of onboarding calls to make today. There's about a dozen or so of you that just recently onboarded in the last 2 or 3 days to Island Project at various amounts, 100K, 200K. Had one person come in at 500K, just upgraded the units. That bankrolls you actually 2 weeks, comped at any of the host properties, any of them. Ski a week in Park City, surf another week in Maui. And by the way, that is a really, really cool feature. In addition to that, all of our members, even if you're not at those tiers, get discounted rates for like additional days. So let's say you use, 3 days that you're comped or whatnot based on your tier, and then you want to stay an extra 4 days. You pay a discount on those rates than you would if you were like staying at a hotel or something. So it's even a better deal that way. There's so many creative things we've done with our ecosystem, very few of you even know about, because you haven't called my father, you haven't onboarded, you haven't connected to my personal network. And when you onboard islandproject.com, you become a part of our network. You have a direct link to me, a direct link to my father, all the opportunities, all the business opportunities, our tokenization, everything that we've done world class. It's freaking ridiculously amazing. So I love you. Jesus Christ is King. And I think I'm going to go Lambo shopping, actually. Yeah, I was just kind of like looking at things earlier today. I was putting some pen to paper, but I think I'm going to buy a brand new Lambo. I think it's needed. Because, again, the 1000X mindset is the 1000X during the collapse. It's the strategic advantage. Even while America burns. Even if the stock market drops to 0 tomorrow, I'm still driving my Lambo right down the street as fast as possible. Because it don't matter. That's a strategic advantage. No one thinks like me. No one's crazy enough. Be a little crazy. It's how you get ahead. Don't follow their rules. These people are criminals. Only follow the orders and the rules of God and his commandments. You'll lead a better life. You'll be healthier, free, more successful. You'll live your dream. And you'll do it because, hey, we're only here for so long. And then it's riding in the kingdom. Look forward to it. God bless. Jesus Christ is King. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. Thanks for sharing. God bless you. I'm praying for all of you out there. Thank you for your support. Please like and share. Leave a comment to mess with the algorithms and get this video out there. I always tell you the truth. I'm the most passionate person alive. And we're having a lot of fun too. So it is an honor. God bless.